Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 20th of May. Pakistan begins probe of multi-million-dollar fake degree scam. 2 war criminals sentenced to prison for life in Bangladesh. And call for justice to Arif Shahid gets louder on second death anniversary. And now for all the details. Pakistani authorities have begun probing an alleged fake degree scam by one of the country's top IT companies. The New York Times had on Monday claimed that the company had committed fraud worth millions by issuing bogus certificates in the name of non-existent online universities.
Pakistan's Federal Investigation Agency on Wednesday summoned Shoaib Sheikh, the CEO of X-Act, for questioning in the multi-million-dollar scam. His name was also put on the exit control list on Tuesday after Federal Interior Minister Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan ordered probe into the matter. The FIA also raided the headquarters of X-Act in Karachi and offices in Rawalpindi and Islamabad. At least 45 employees of the company have been taken into custody for questioning. Investigators have confiscated a number of computers from the office, which have been sent for forensic examination. Another inquiry has also been launched into alleged tax evasions of the company. X-Act, which claims to be the Pakistan's top software company, got into trouble after the New York Times claimed that it was running a fake certificate network. According to a report published on Monday, X-Act was issuing bogus degrees and diploma certificates world over to some 370 websites, which it claims to be foreign online universities. The company reportedly issued certificates in dozens of disciplines like nursing and civil engineering and used to charge as much as $350 for a high school diploma and $4,000 for a doctorate degree. X-Act reportedly also used U.S. State Department authentication certificates bearing the signature of Secretary of State John Kerry to claim its legitimacy. The IT company, which operates from its office in Karachi and employs some 2,000 people, however, doesn't sell any software applications. X-Act, which had recently forayed into Pakistan's media sector, had roped in some of the country's top television journalists to launch a news channel later this year. It had also announced a plan to open up a network of movie halls apart from digital and print publications across the country.
The International War Crimes Tribunal of Bangladesh on Wednesday awarded imprisonment for life to 2 convicts. Muslim League leaders Mahidur Rahman and Afsar Hussain were sentenced to jail until death after being found guilty for murder of 24 people and setting ablaze dozens of houses during Bangladesh's 1971 Liberation War. They were also accused of fighting for Al-Badr, a pro-Pakistan auxiliary force which was responsible for large-scale atrocities during the Civil War, which lasted up to 9 months. The War Crimes Tribunal, established in 2010, has already convicted nearly 24 people for committing crimes against humanity during the independence movement. Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena has said achieving national resolution with the minority Tamil community was a priority for his government. Sri Lanka on Tuesday marked the anniversary of the end of its decades-long civil war with the Tamil rebels.
Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena promised to seek an unprecedented focus on reconciliation as the nation on Tuesday marked the 6th anniversary of its army's victory over Tamil Tiger separatists. Overseeing the military parade at a function in southern Matara, President Sirisena said the truth of what happened during the conflict needed to be established and justice delivered. In contrast to previous year's show of might by the Lankan military, the commemoration this year was observed in a somber way, with the day being renamed as Remembrance Day in place of Victory Day.
පශ්චාත් යුද සමයක් තුළ රටක කළ යුතු කාර්යයන් අප විසින් ඉටු කළාද කියන කාරණාව අප විශේෂයෙන්ම විමසා බැලිය යුතු වෙනවා. මා හිතන්නේ එය ඉටු නුනා කියයි. භෞතික සම්පත් සංවර්ධනයට මුල් තැන දුන්නා. භෞතික සම්පත් සංවර්ධනය තුළ ජාතීන්ගේ සංහිඳියා පිළිවෙතක් සම්බන්ධයෙන් ප්‍රමුඛත්වයක් ලැබුණේ නැහැ. විශේෂයෙන්ම බිඳුණු ගොඩනැගිලි බිඳුණු පාරවල් කැඩුණු විනාශ වූ භෞතික සම්පත් යලි ගොඩනැගීම ඇති වුණත් බිඳුණු ගොඩනැගිලි විනාශ වූවත් බිඳුණු සිත් ගොඩනගන්නට පශ්චාත් යුද සමය තුල සංහිඳියා පිළිවෙතක් පැහැදිලිවම රටක් විදිහට අප විසින් ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම සිදු වුණේ නැහැ.
President Sirisena's stance is in stark contrast to his predecessor Mahinda Rajapaksa, whose regime oversaw the crushing of Tamil rebels. They were earlier prevented from any attempts at public memorials. All this came after the Human Rights Watch on Sunday expressed doubts about the new administration's commitment to address the allegations of human rights abuses and war crimes during the last stages of the civil war. President Sirisena's government, which assumed office in January, had pledged a credible domestic mechanism to look into rights violations committed by the Lankan army. According to the UN and other international rights organizations, up to 40,000 Tamil civilians were killed in the final 3 months of civil war in 2009.
The Taliban's assault on government officers and employees continues in Afghanistan. As part of its spring-summer offensive, the militants attacked the Ministry of Justice on Tuesday, leaving at least 5 people dead. A report.
The 42 people injured in Tuesday's blast continue to be treated at 3 Kabul hospitals on Wednesday. A suicide bomber had detonated his car laden with explosives in the parking lot of Afghanistan's Ministry of Justice just when civil servants were leaving their offices for the day. The government building is located in a busy downtown area near a plush hotel popular with foreigners. The huge blast rattled windows of nearby houses and vehicles too. It was the 5th major attack in Kabul in over 2 weeks and the 3rd to target employees of the justice system.
ما مامورین وزارت عدلیه هستیم دریور هستم اینجا کمیجا موتر استاد کردیم که مامورین که بالا شود دمی بغل شش تا بودیم که یک موتر کرولا آمد دروازه را زد درم تا گوشه کنه خود گلم بس صدا کرد ما گلم افتیدیم اون نفر سوخت مرداش افتیدیم اونجا.
The Taliban vowed to kill more slave judges and prosecutors in a statement that came hours after the attack. The insurgents said they considered Afghan courts a tool of the US-backed government, accusing them of conspiring in mistreatment of detainees. The Taliban claimed responsibility for a series of recent strikes on judicial employees, including 2 attacks on buses carrying workers of the Attorney General's office this month, killing at least 6 people. The militia launched its spring-summer offensive last month in what it calls a reprisal for the treatment of their prisoners in Afghan and American jails. The United Nations had last week condemned the surge in Taliban attacks, targeting civilians and legal professionals.
Protests are mounting against the assailants of Arif Shahid. Anger continues to swell as Pakistan drags its feet on the investigation, even after 2 years of the brutal murder of the Kashmiri nationalist leader. A report.
On the 2nd death anniversary of the slain leader, Kashmir nationalist leaders continue to demand bringing the culprits to justice. At a recently held demonstration rally organised by Kashmiri nationalist groups in front of the Pakistan High Commission in London, many demanded an end to targeted killings in POK. The protesters, who later chanted slogans outside the mission, blamed Pakistan's secret services for killing the widely respected leader. They said the involvement of ISI in Shahid's murder was being covered up by Pakistan. Shahid was shot dead by unidentified gunmen in the high security area of Rawalpindi in May 2013. The 63-year-old was the president of Jammu Kashmir National Liberation Council. He was also the chair of All Parties National Alliance and was at the forefront of the movement to free POK from Islamabad's control. Shahid had several run-ins with Pakistan's intelligence agencies for spearheading the movements.
भारी भरकम आवाज को खामोश कर दिया गया, दिन दहाड़े खामोश कर दिया गया। उनके कातिल नहीं हो रहे, कातिल पकड़े भी नहीं जा सकते क्योंकि कातिल इतने ताकतवर हैं कि उनको पकड़ने की कम से कम पाकिस्तान जैसी रियासत के अंदर जुर्रत भी नहीं की जा सकती, सोचा भी नहीं जा सकता.
At several similar demonstrations across POK, many also blamed Pakistan for its continued oppression.
इन्होंने आपकी आजादी को छीना, इन्होंने आपकी मैशत को छीना, इन्होंने आपके रोजगार को छीना, इन्होंने आपके वसाइल को छीना. ये काबिज हैं, कातिल हैं, जाबर हैं और जाबरों के खिलाफ ऐलान बगावत बुलंद करना होगा.
Remembering Shahid's courage, many said the movement to free Kashmir from Pakistani control will be a fitting tribute to the slain nationalist leader.
At least 4 people have been arrested in connection to the attack on the Shia Ismailis last week. Pakistan police has confirmed at least 45 people were killed in the worst sectarian attack on the minority community faced in the country.
Karachi police on Tuesday said those arrested included the alleged mastermind of the attack. According to probe investigators, the strike was carried out by the Al-Qaeda-inspired religious extremist group and there was no foreign involvement in the incident. Pakistani investigators had earlier accused the Indian intelligence agency RAW for its hand in the attack. They'd also claimed that the militants hailed from Afghanistan. However, all those arrested in the case are Pakistanis and have confessed that 11 armed men carried out the ambush on the bus last week. The group is also reportedly accepted of murdering Pakistani activist Sabeen Mahmood and an assassination attempt on American academic Deborah Lobo last month. A bus carrying some 50 members of the Shia Ismaili community came under terror attack in Karachi on May 13th, killing 45 people. The Ismaili is a small minority which belongs to the Shia sect. The 500,000-strong community in Pakistan has been regarded as a peaceful, progressive and largely apolitical, predominantly working in the health and education sectors.
Zimbabwe cricket team has expressed satisfaction over the security arrangements in Pakistan ahead of the tournament which begins this week. Pakistan is hosting a test playing a team on its soil after a hiatus of nearly 6 years.
Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium resembled an army camp after the area was put under unprecedented security cover as both Pakistan and Zimbabwe teams held their first training session on Tuesday. Some 10,000 personnel, snipers and Secret Service officials are deployed at various locations across the eastern city ahead of the series. Team Zimbabwe said they were in Pakistan to promote cricket and expressed happiness on the safety measures.
We hope that by coming here, we've shown that cricket is and will be the winner. We look forward to an exciting 2 weeks. My team and I are raring to go. We have seen the facilities that have been laid out for us, and we are more than confident that we will have a successful tour.
Pakistan is hoping to bring more international teams to the country by successfully hosting the Zimbabwe series. The country has been facing isolation following a terror attack on a Sri Lankan team bus in 2009, which had left 7 people dead and injured 6 players. Ever since the incident, international teams had refused to tour the country, citing security reasons. Despite Zimbabwe agreeing to play in Pakistan, the International Cricket Council has refused to send match officials for the tournament, fearing their safety. The series, which will kick off on Friday with a T20 match, is expected to draw a jam-packed crowd to the stadium for the first international cricket match in Pakistan in many years.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories, once again, Pakistan begins probe of multi-million-dollar fake degree scam. 2 war criminals sentenced to prison for life in Bangladesh. And call for justice to Arif Shahid gets louder on second death anniversary. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.